Inside this box right here is an espresso machine with a PID for less than 200 euros. And not only that, it's made by Gaggia in Italy. So I'm very excited to check out this machine and see how it does. Let's just start by opening up the box and seeing what it comes with. Let's just see what all comes in the box. I can't take credit for this find. I was inspired by Coffee Kev's channel. He found this machine. It's pretty much brand new. Manuals. Okay, time for the big reveal. There it is, right there. All right, so this Gaggia Espresso machine comes in 3 different trims, and this trim in particular is the Deluxe, which means that it's got here a flat drip tray, which is nice. It's not a rippled one. And it's also got this metal cup tray on top. Let's commission this machine and see how it works. Now, something that I should say is, as far as I know, this machine is only available right now in Europe. That's what this drip tray looks like. In fact, it does have riffles in there, which I don't really like because that's super hard to clean when like espresso gets gunked in there. But what are you gonna do? At least the top part is flat. I believe on Coffee Kevin's model that this top part was riffled. I find that it doesn't lend for too much stability for the espresso cups. Now this machine is a 53 millimeter brew group. It comes with this portafilter right here. It's plastic. It's pretty heavy. So it weighs 345 grams. That's a pretty hefty portafilter. And it's a non-pressurized one. So this bottom part feels like plastic. In fact, like this part is weighted. You can tell there's certainly more weight here on the back end. They must have some kind of lead in the back. The front part looks to me to be, it's totally plastic inside. So you might want to replace that if you don't like pulling shots with plastic. It does come with this double basket, which as you can see by the pinhole in there, it's just a pressurized basket. And it comes with also a single pressurized basket. Now, I'm not saying throw these things away because these are really good for if you got pre-ground espresso or if you got really old coffee beans, you can still use them with these kind of filters. But we're gonna put these to the side for now. Put this guy to the side because something else that I've done is I've gone ahead and I've ordered from Edesia. They make, for just about any kind of coffee machine, bottomless portafilters like this one. So this should fit just right to the Gaggia. And that's what we're gonna try. It also comes with a basket installed, so we're good to go. What is it made out of? If you have a look right here, it's very light machine. It's small, it's diminutive. It is gonna fit in just about any kitchen, which is a nice thing. I do like the fact that it's got this metal drip tray on top. That's kind of a nice design element. As for the brew group, hopefully you can see that there. And it's got just a really kind of basic shower screen on there. Okay, so there's a view from that side. Here is a view from this side. This is the water tank as that pulls out to the side. That's kind of nice. It makes for better ergonomics, not having to pull it up and out in case you got countertops up here. So that's kind of a good thing. And you see we've got 2 hoses here. So those 2 hoses, one is going to be shorter than the other. One pulls water into the pump circuit and the other one comes off of the overpressure valve and puts it back in here. That is the reason that you got those 2 hoses. Okay, and here's a look at the back. It's pretty basic. And let's look at the bottom ones. The bottom, I find, is always something kind of interesting because there you get some information. So on the bottom, oh, it doesn't say anything. I was expecting a sticker on the bottom with a CE label and with like information. Anyway, it says on the box is 1900 watts, which would indicate a thermal block. On the website, under the characteristics, it says boiler, and next to it, it says stainless steel. You might assume it's got a stainless steel boiler in there, like an actual boiler where a bunch of water gets heated up, but it should be a thermal block, which is basically a heat on demand principle. This is one of the things I like the most. It says made in Italy. They make nice products. What I kind of think is interesting about this design is, to me it seems like a clean design. You're using basic geometric shapes. Most things are flat. You can see here the whole front is flat besides the Gaggia emblem and these 3 buttons that protrude, of course. The corners are rounded off, making for kind of like a nice, friendly design in your kitchen. That also matches the bottom here of the drip tray. Those corners are rounded off, as well as the back of the unit. So I kind of like to see the design element that goes really with the entire machine. Okay, yeah. You can just pull that panarella right off if you want to, and this should be long enough to get down into a milk canister. So let's plug it in and try it out.
Getting value from this video? Please take a moment to like and subscribe.
So first things first, let's turn it on. Press the on off button, which will start flashing. That's interesting. I guess it turned on. What the heck, dude? Oh, it's just very dim. The light is super dim. That's what the deal is. And now this one is flashing. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but this is like super duper dim. The light is, yeah. That's kind of interesting that they make these buttons so dim. Keep that in mind. It's definitely something that I would recommend to Gaggia to make them brighter so that you know that they're on, or make them rocker type switches. But anyway, the machine is on now, so that's good. The machine is working. What we're gonna do is now try to pull a shot. Oops. Alrighty, so I am using these beans from Martyr Mühle today. They're very good coffee beans, and they are less than 1 month old. I think they're just 2 weeks off the roast date. I got 16 grams loaded up here in my K4 grinder. I really like this one. Excellent for vacation. It's pretty quick too. Takes me about 30-40 seconds to grind with this. What we're gonna do is we're gonna test this portafilter right here so that we can kind of see a little bit better how the espresso is coming out. Use my norm core. Oh, that's a good fit. Excellent. All right, let's see what we get out of here. Pretty tight fit up in the brew group. This is the very first time I'm trying it, so I'm curious. Also, how is the clearance? Clearance is okay, I think. I can fit an espresso cup under there. Just barely. Let's see how it looks. There it comes. All right, I got 23 grams. 28, 32. And as you can hear, you can't hear any three-way solenoid valve. There's nothing that cuts off. So that means it's just gonna kind of keep dripping like DeLonghi Dedica would. But that's our shot right there. Not bad for a first attempt. Pretty good espresso shot. I know how these beans are supposed to taste because I've tried them in numerous machines, and they are quite delightful. They've got excellent body to them. It's possible to bring out a certain sweetness out of them, like a bittersweet chocolate, sometimes a little bit of stone fruit. The shot, for the very first attempt, more balanced than I was expecting. Not really any astringency to talk about, just a pretty decent shot. We might as well see how this sucker steams. And I'm just gonna take this off today because I am more versed at steaming like this with no panarello. And anyway, all this does is circle around like that, as you can see. So that's not ideal. It would be nice if it would kind of tilt, but it doesn't. Now I'm gonna go into steam mode. The button is flashing. Okay, now it's ready. Let's purge it and give it a shot. Have to go on the other side. There we go. With any coffee machine, you gotta really find the right angle to get it swirling around properly. And you can see I've still got some milk bubbles on the top, but we are getting a flow kind of going around, kind of more up and down in the canister. And you don't really want to inject too much air towards the middle or end of the process. You want to do that in the beginning. But you also need to make sure to get enough, because if you don't, then you're just going to get hot milk with no texture, and that's no good. All right, now it's getting plenty hot. Let's turn it off. Okay. All right, so it's still doing something. I don't know quite what. And now it's done. Maybe it's cooling the boiler down. But you can see that is some delightful creamy milk there. That worked out pretty good. And let's just see if we can pour ourselves a cappuccino. Not bad. Not bad for our first attempt there. How is it? It's good. Anytime that you can steam the milk to be that creamy, and I'm certainly no expert at latte art, but the main thing is to get the milk nice and creamy, and then you know it's going to be tasty. And that covers up a lot of sins when it comes to espresso. If your espresso is a little bit over-extracted, a little bitter, or maybe a little bit astringent, it doesn't matter so much. If you make the milk beautifully and pour it in there, even with no design, it's going to make for a tasty cappuccino. Let's have a look, see what the puck looks like. There we go. Here's the coffee puck. Break it in half. Pretty nicely extracted, as you can see. It doesn't have any gradient, all the same color. That's a good indicator. There we are. Our first experience with the new Gaggia Espresso. I'm going to test this machine over the next month or so. I'll do some temperature tests and just see how constant the PID inside holds the temperature, and then I'll come back with my findings with another video. I hope that this video helped you guys, and I hope it was interesting for you. And until next time, I say happy coffee drinking and happy cappuccino drinking. Bye now.